Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday morning Mystic at Home flow. My name is Kelly. I will be leading you through a 60-minute, somewhat power flow today. I'm so glad to be joining you all. For a second day this week, I'm subbing for Kellie May. She's on vacation. And I'm so happy to be starting another wonderful, beautiful day with you all. It's super sunny outside and very warm, so if you're in the mood, feel free to bring your mat outside today, out onto the grass or your deck, patio, whatever. We are going to be doing a power flow though, so please make sure that you have plenty of water with you for your practice and that you stay hydrated while you are flowing today. If you've got any props at home that you like to practice with, block, strap, anything like that, go ahead and grab them, bring them down onto your mat. We'll get started in just a minute. When you pop on, just go ahead, say good morning, let us know you're here. We love interacting with you all. We love hearing from you. If there are any poses that you are craving this morning, feel free to drop them in the comments. Let us know what you're looking for in this practice. We can keep it pretty open and flexible. So, good morning, everyone. It's 9 a.m. We're coming to you live from Mystic. We're live on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll upload this to YouTube after the feed ends. If you've been enjoying our practices that we've been bringing you and you have it in your heart, a donation of any size through our Venmo will get you one of these beautiful handmade masks. They are very durable. You can throw them in the washing machine. They're very comfortable and very soft, and they'll keep you safe. So if you are interested, our Venmo is Mystic Fitness, and we so appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving us. Let's jump down onto our mats now and go ahead and get started. Just allow yourself to settle in onto your mat. Let your eyes close, come into a comfortable position that can be seated or reclined. Oh, good morning, Glenn. Sound not working? All right. Oh, it's working? Okay. All right. Good to know that that's back. So just come down onto your mat, find a comfortable position. You can be seated or reclined. Just let your eyes close. Let your hands kind of settle against the floor beside you. Feel the weight of your body pressing into the floor. If your eyes are not yet closed, just allow them to gently drift shut, letting yourself tune in to the sensations in your body. Maybe starting with the tips of your toes and just slowly bringing your awareness into your feet and your ankles. Bringing your focus into your legs and your hips. Noticing how the core feels today, and your arms and shoulders. Noticing if there's any tension in your neck or along your jaw, and just bringing your awareness to these feelings in your physical self without judgment, just taking a gentle observation of where your body is at today so that when we begin our practice, you can meet yourself exactly where you are in this moment. If you are reclined, take a moment to just slowly press up into a seated position. Here your legs can cross, and your palms can slowly plant over your heart space, and we'll open our practice with the sacred sound of Om, a cleansing breath first. Breathe in and out. And now inhale. Let's have a beautiful practice, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. So glad to have you here. If you are not yet in a seated position on your mat, just take a moment to arrive in a seated posture, crossing your legs, maybe placing a block underneath to elevate your hips a little bit and lift them a little higher than your knees. Take a deep breath in and just lift both arms up to the sky, taking a nice long stretch through the spine. Let's start with some shoulder work today. So just circling out the shoulders. You can do it one at a time or both shoulders together, whatever kind of natural, organic movement calls to you. But just make sure that once you've moved sufficiently in one direction that you go ahead and change the direction of those circles, making sure to go forwards and backwards as well, and continuing to breathe in and breathe out, just gently waking up the body, getting some movement into the wrists now, whatever is calling to you, whatever feels right in this moment. Maybe that's circling your wrists in a clockwise or counterclockwise motion. Maybe it's flipping the palms back and forth up to the sky and then down towards the earth. Maybe making fists and spreading your fingers, whatever feels right, and just kind of gets a little warm-up movement into your fingers, into your wrists before we put pressure on them throughout the practice. And maybe shaking your hands, continuing to breathe in and breathe out. Just gently greeting your body, saying good morning. And now inhaling both arms up to the sky, stretching long through your torso. As you exhale, right fingertips drop to your mat. And you bring the torso up and over towards the right side, getting a stretch through the left side of your abdominals. On an inhale, come back to center, bringing both arms to the sky. As you exhale, left fingertips drop to your mat, and you stretch up and over to the left, now feeling that stretch to the right side of your core. Let's take this a few times to each side, moving at your own pace, lingering in the stretch for as long as calls to you, for as long as feels right for your body, getting as deep as you'd like to. Let's take it to one more time to each side, moving with your breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. Feeling that gorgeous stretch through the side of your torso, and then inhaling back up to center. Let's transition into a tabletop position here. So coming onto the hands and the knees, taking a moment to be intentional about your alignment. Shoulders stack over wrists, hips stack over the knees. Your spine is neutral. Neck is also neutral, so gaze is towards your mat. Let's take a few cat and cows here. So we inhale, open the heart, dropping the belly button towards the floor. And then as you exhale, you curl the spine, tucking that tailbone under, feeling the space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, open. Exhale, curl. Really pressing the floor away from you as you push into that tucked position. Taking this a few more times at your own pace. Opening the heart. And stretching through the spine, and then returning to a neutral position, neutral tabletop, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, and right foot steps forward in between the hands. If you've got a couple blocks, you can place them underneath your palms so that your chest is not crunched over that front leg. We'll rock the hips back towards the left heel to get a long stretch through the hamstring, and then press the hips forward to get a gentle stretch through the hip flexor. Take this a few times at your own pace, rocking the hips forward and backward, maybe with your breath pattern, just waking up the lower body a little bit. And then returning to a neutral low lunge position. That right knee is stacked over the right ankle, left hip sort of over that left knee, and then slowly on an inhale, lift your chest, extending both arms up to the sky. On your exhale, you'll slowly twist to the right. And just get a gentle twist in your spine. Left fingertips rest on the right knee. Your right hand can rest on the lower back. We'll stay here for one more breath. And exhale. Slowly coming back to center and then lowering both hands back to your blocks or to your mat and swapping out the legs. So right leg steps back and left foot steps forward in between the hands. Taking a moment to set up your hands and your feet, being careful with your alignment, and then rocking those hips forward and back at your own pace, staying in each stretch for as long as calls to you. You can move slowly or quickly, whatever feels right. Take time to listen to your body and to pay attention to what it is asking for in this practice, this unique practice today. Coming back to that neutral position. On a breath in, slowly lift the chest, lift the arms, and on your out breath, you'll twist to the left, bringing right palm to the left knee, bringing the left hand to the lower back, making sure you keep that left knee stacked over the left ankle. A breath in, and a breath out. Beautiful. Slowly returning to center, dropping the arms and the hands. Left foot steps back. Let's take a few hip circles before we come into our first down dog. So spreading the knees a little bit wider, gently circling the hips around in a clockwise motion, and then maybe a counterclockwise motion. These circles can be as big or as small as you'd like, and as fast or as slow as you'd like. It's just you in your practice, so no need to worry about what anyone else is doing or what is right or what is wrong. Do what is calling to your body, and then let's press the hips all the way back, coming into a child's pose, stretching the arms forward, surrendering your forehead down onto your mat, and just taking a moment here to breathe in and breathe out. And then tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back. We find our way into our first down dog of the practice, making sure to keep a micro bend through your knees, maybe walking your dog, bending one knee at a time. As you alternate pressing left and then right heel into your mat, take a breath in and a breath out. Float the right leg up to the sky and just stay here for a moment. Keep the shoulders nice and square towards the top of your mat and just press that right leg up towards the sky. And then maybe bend the right knee and gently lift right hip over the left, but keeping your shoulders stable. This stretch is coming from the hip, not from the shoulders. So your shoulders are staying exactly where they are, nice and square towards the top of your mat. One more breath here, in. And then as you exhale, just float that right foot down to the mat, and we'll take it on the left. So on an in-breath, the left leg stretches up to the sky. Maybe you wiggle that ankle a little bit. Notice how your shoulders are positioned, and now just stretching that left hip, bending left knee, left hip gently lifts over the right. Shoulders are stable as you get this gentle stretch through the hip, not the shoulders. Breath in. And on a breath out, slowly unwind, lowering left foot down to meet the right. Feet walk forward to meet the hands. Inhale for a halfway lift. Palms come to shins or to the thighs, pressing the crown of the head forward. You lengthen through the spine for a breath in and a breath out. Stabilizing through the feet, pressing the soles of the feet down into your mat. On your next breath in, slowly rise to standing, reaching both arms up to the sky. Palms come together as you exhale, fold, releasing upper body over the lower body. Inhale for a halfway lift. Crown of the head is stretching forward. Feel that length through the spine, and on your next exhale, fold. Fingertips to your mat. Right foot takes a giant step back, runner's lunge. Left foot steps back to meet at high plank. Holding your plank, breath in, breath out. Transitioning into a side plank on the right. So right palm plants, rolling onto the outside of the right foot. You open up towards the left, bringing left fingertips up towards the sky. Holding this for a breath in and a breath out. Transitioning back to your high plank. Both knees drop to your mat. Bend at the elbows, lowering your body all the way down. Palms alongside the chest. Inhale, opening the heart for your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk it out for a breath in and a breath out. Feet walk forward to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Next breath in guides you all the way up to standing. Both arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, palms come together, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips to your mat as you fold forward. Left foot steps back, right foot steps back, high plank. Shoulders are stacked over the wrists. Breath in, breath out. Squeeze your glutes. Make sure that you are in position here, so left shoulder will align over the left wrist as you open up to that side plank on the left, rolling onto the outside of the left foot, bringing the right fingertips up to the sky as you open your chest to the right side of your mat. Breath in, breath out. Alignment is so important here. Now, slowly transitioning back to your high plank, again making sure shoulders stack over the wrists, both knees bend and drop to your mat. Drop, bending the elbows, drop your torso all the way down to the floor. Palms alongside the chest. Inhale, opening the heart for your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Toes tuck under, hips lift up and back. Walk it out for a breath in and a breath out. Inhale the right leg up to the sky. On your exhale, right knee pulls in towards the nose, right foot plants, runner's lunge. Maybe placing blocks underneath your palms to get your chest lifted off of that right leg. This doesn't change the work that your legs are doing. It just makes it a little more comfortable for your upper body so you're not crunched in on yourself. Taking a moment to root the feet down into the earth. I encourage you to keep your feet about hips width distance apart to aid in your stability in this posture. We're going to transition from our runner's lunge to our crescent lunge. So prepare your legs. Make sure they're stabilized. On a breath in, lift the chest, coming into your crescent lunge. Hips are square towards the top of your mat. Right knee is stacked over the right ankle. Breath in, breath out. Drop your arms to that bent elbow goalpost position and bend the left knee so that it's hovering over your mat but not touching. So you're in this low lunge kind of position, but there's space between your mat and your left knee. We'll do some cat and cows here while we maintain this low lunge. Feel the work your legs are doing. Breathe in, press the elbows back. Breathe out, curl your spine, keeping your legs nice and stable. Inhale, exhale, 3 more. Inhale, open, exhale, curl, inhale, open, exhale, curl. Last one. Inhale, pressing the elbows back, squeezing shoulder blades together. Exhale, curl the spine, drawing forearms together in front of you. Beautiful. Inhale, find that crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior 2. Opening up the hips towards the left side of your mat. Right foot is pointing directly towards the top of your mat. Left toes are pointing towards the left side. Your torso is locked in the middle, making sure right knee is stacked over the right ankle. You're pressing your feet down into your mat. Breath in, breath out. We transition from here to our goddess position by turning the feet so that toes point out, heels come in, and sinking the hips down. Whew, nice and low. Keeping a slight tuck to the tailbone so that your spine is mostly straight. And you want your knees stacked over your ankles, keeping that alignment of the joints. Breath in, breath out. Lifting up the right toes and then dropping them down. Lifting left toes and then dropping them down. Right, left, right, and left. We take this for 5, 4, got to do both sides for 1, 3, almost there, 2, oh, you're getting so strong, last one, beautiful, and now we transition to warrior 2 on the left side. So that left knee bends and stacks over the left ankle, left toes point towards the back edge of your mat, and your right toes, because we've turned around, are now pointing to that right side. Stretching the arms apart, breath in, breath out. Taking time to root the feet down into the earth. Feel that engagement rise from the soles of your feet, up through the legs and into your abdominals. Breath in, breath out. From here, we transition to our crescent lunge. So that right heel lifts up as the foot turns. Keeping your hips nice and square, we'll take those cat and cow crescent lunges here. So arms are in the goalpost position, bend elbows, right knee drops, so it's bent but hovering above your mat. Inhale, open the chest, pressing elbows back. Exhale, curl the spine, drawing elbows together. Inhale, exhale. 3 more. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice how stable your legs are. Only your chest is moving, or your torso rather. Inhale, opening. Last one here. Press those shoulder blades together. Exhale, curl the spine. Pull those forearms back towards one another. Inhale, find that crescent lunge. And then we'll drop down to our runner's lunge. Left foot steps back to meet the right. You're in a high plank, holding your high plank. Let's take a shoulder tap. So your right fingertips lift up and tap the left shoulder and then drop down. And then left fingertips tap the right shoulder. That's 1. Aiming to isolate the movement into your hands, keeping your core nice and stable. Let's take 5 of these. 5, 4, keep breathing. 3, 2, and last one. You guys are so strong. Rolling forward on the toes, bending down at the elbows just a couple inches for your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walking it out here, breathing in and breathing out. One more breath in and out. Beautiful. Inhale the left leg up to the sky now. On your exhale, left knee pulls in towards your nose, left foot plants, runner's lunge. Stabilizing in that runner's lunge, making sure that your feet are rooted down into your mat. Make sure that you've got that solid foundation through your legs, and then lifting up into your crescent lunge. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's take 5 crescent lunges here by dropping that right knee into a deep bend, and then lifting up and extending by pressing through that left heel and the left glute. So we bend and lunge. Now press through that left foot. Feel that left glute working. Lifting up. 3 more. Ready? 3. You can work the arms too, drawing them down and back up. 1 more. Lunge. And then finding that crescent lunge. And now opening to warrior 2. Opening the hips. Stretching the arms nice and wide. Breathe in and breathe out. From here, we're going to transition into a balancing half moon. Our legs are getting so much work here. You can do this. So making sure that you're shifting that weight into the left leg. You'll kick off with the right foot. aiming to stabilize your core, opening your chest to the right side and extending that right leg back towards the back end of your mat. So chest opens towards the right side, hips open towards the right side, arms extend away from each other for a breath in and a breath out. Dropping into your goddess. Second set. Toes are out, heels are in, knees stack over the ankles, holding your goddess. Breath in, breath out. Holding it for another inhale and an exhale. And now transitioning into warrior two on the right side, but just as a means of jumping off into your half moon. We're doing this sequence in reverse. So we start with that half moon, so weight into the right leg, kicking off with the left foot, opening the hips, or keeping the hips rather, open to the left, chest is open to the left, right fingertips stretch down toward the earth, left fingertips pull up to the sky, left leg kicks straight back, parallel with your core. Breath in, breath out. One more inhale. And exhale, drop back to that warrior two on the right side. You guys are awesome. Breath in, breath out. One more inhale. And as you exhale, transition into your crescent lunge on the right side. Feet are still about hips width distance apart, but that left heel picks up off the ground and your hips turn to face the front of your mat. Let's take those 5 lunges here. So we bend both knees really deeply, lunging down, and then we extend up, pressing through that right foot. And we bend and extend. Just 3 more. Ready? 3, and lift. 2, pressing up through that right heel. And last one. Beautiful, finding that crescent lunge, and then dropping down. Runner's lunge. Right foot steps back to meet the left. You're in a high plank position. Let's add in some mountain climbers here. So right knee pulls towards your belly button and then swaps out for the left. So it's a right, left for 20. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Rolling forward at on the toes, bending at the elbows, lowering down a couple inches for your Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Walking it out here as you breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. Feet walk forward to meet the hands. Make sure that your feet are at least hips width distance apart here as you come into a gentle ragdoll position. Maybe wrapping each hand over the opposite elbow, keeping a deep bend in your legs. Just sway gently from left to right, letting your head hang heavy as you breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. Releasing your hands, and on a breath in, rooting down through the soles of your feet, slowly rising up to standing, maybe grabbing a quick sip of water if you need one. Oh, beautiful. Just going to take a quick peek to see if there's anything anybody is, anything anyone is looking for today, any particular poses that are calling to you. All right, let's come into a chair pose. Take a moment to, sorry, I got a little tangled there for a second. Take a moment to root the feet down into your mat. So your feet can be together or hips width distance apart. Either is fine. Just make sure that you are pressing the soles of your feet down into the earth. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, palms come together. Sink your hips down nice and low into a chair pose. So you've got a slight tuck to your tailbone. And you're hugging your thighs towards each other as you sink your hips just a little bit lower, keeping most of the weight in your heels, but maintaining that connection with your whole foot. Breath in, breath out. All right, so from your chair pose, your left foot will step back, landing in a warrior one position. So that means your left foot is flat on the floor and your toes are pointing towards the top edge of your mat. You'll want a nice wide stance so that your hips are also square towards the top of your mat. Bringing your hands to your hips, we'll come into a Tanasana, a pyramid pose from here. So breathe in, stretching the crown of your head up to the sky. As you exhale, you'll fold forward with a neutral spine, hinging from your hips. And if you've got those blocks, as you fold, you can release your hands from your hips and drop your hands onto your blocks. If you'd like to play with your stability and balance a little bit here, you can interlace your hands behind your lower back or bring your hands around that front ankle so that you're relying on the strength and stability of your legs to help you maintain this fold. Breath in and breath out. Inhale and exhale. We'll transition from here to a standing split. So your hands can place on blocks or they can plant a few inches in front of that front foot. So a few inches in front of that right foot, your fingertips can drop. And you'll shift your weight into that front foot as you float the left leg up to the sky. You're keeping your hips square. So it can be tempting to open up the hips as if you were in a half moon. But keep your hips square towards the midline of your body, drawing your thighs towards one another, keeping your foot flexed, and your pinky toe sort of pointing down towards the earth. Beautiful. You can stay here with your fingertips resting on your mat, or again, play with your balance by bringing your hands around that right ankle. And we hold for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Breath in and breath out. We'll slowly transition back to that Tanasana, that pyramid, by dropping that left foot back towards the mat, stabilizing the feet, rooting them into the floor, squaring the hips, and then with that same neutral spine that we entered the pose with, we'll exit, lifting the torso up off that right leg. Beautiful. Let's try it on the other side. So left foot steps front to meet the right foot. Give your hips a little wiggle and wobble, a little shake, maybe some coat sleeves, just kind of resetting your body to take this on the other side. We began with a chair pose, so we'll start the same way. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, palms come together, sink down, find your chair. So if you're not sure about the tuck of your hips, you can try sticking your booty way out, tucking it all the way under, and then just find that sweet spot kind of right in the middle. That gives you that neutral spine, that long spine though, and let you get your hips nice and low. One more breath here, in and out. Now we shift weight into the left foot, allowing the right leg to step back behind us, landing in that warrior one position. Hips are nice and square, so your stance is wide, and both of your feet are pointing towards the top edge of your mat. Bringing hands to hips, take a deep breath in, lifting through the crown of your head to elongate your back, and then fold forward on your exhale, hinging on those hips, maintaining that nice neutral spine as you fold over that front leg. And then your hands can rest on blocks, or their fingertips can come to your mat, or you can play with your balance a little bit. Whatever variation calls to you is welcome here. This is your practice, as always. Breath in, breath out. Inhale And exhale. One more breath here, in and out. And now we transition to that standing split. So the weight shifts into the left leg as the right leg floats up into the sky. Keeping those hips nice and square, drawing the thighs towards the midline of your body. Maybe your fingertips rest on your mat, or maybe you draw your hands around that left ankle, really playing with your balance, making sure to root that left foot down into the floor. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. One more breath in, you've got this. And then as you exhale, lower that right foot down, finding that pyramid pose once more, and taking the time to stabilize your lower body, being really intentional about where your feet are and the engagement of the muscles in your legs, and then slowly breathing in to lift your torso back up to standing. And then right foot steps back to meet the left, giving your hips a little wiggle and wobble, taking a breath in, and a breath out. Let's do one more little standing sequence with a little balance, and then we'll take it down onto our mats. So I'd like to do a dancer's pose followed by a second set of our balancing half moon. So if you'd like to keep a block positioned at the top of your mat to help you with that transition, go ahead and place that block there now. You'll stand with your feet together. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, right hand drops alongside the right hip, and you bend right knee, catching the right foot or ankle from the inside. Take a moment to make sure that your knees are in the same general area as each other, and then take a breath in, stretching through your spine. As you exhale, you'll kick that right leg back behind you as your torso naturally tilts forward. And so you're getting an amazing stretch through the right shoulder as you kick that right leg back behind you, but you're also getting this incredible stretch through the right quad. Your spine is also being elongated as you kick and tilt and reaching that left arm forward. You're lengthening through your whole body here. Just make sure you're keeping those hips nice and square. But now we'll go ahead and open those hips as we release the right foot. Tilt the torso a little bit more forward, and then open the hips, open the chest towards the right side for your balancing half moon. And notice the sensation change as you go from your hips being nice and squared to open towards the right side. Let's stay for one more breath in. And then as you breathe out, gently release. Beautiful. Giving yourself a little shake. We'll take it on the other side. So standing with the feet together, inhale both arms up to the sky. Left arm drops alongside the left hip. Left knee bends, catching that foot or ankle from the inside. Taking a breath in and stretching through your spine. As you exhale, you kick that left leg, making sure to stabilize through your lower body first. Kick that left leg straight back behind you, feeling that stretch through the left quad and the left shoulder. Right fingertips are stretching forward, and you're keeping your hips nice and square towards the front edge of your mat. Your hips are remaining in one plane with each other. Two more breaths here. In and out. Inhale and exhale. Now releasing that left foot. Hips open, chest opens. That left leg extends back parallel to your torso. Wiggles and wobbles, totally okay. Take your time to settle in and find your stability. Right fingertips pull to the floor, left fingertips pull to the sky. Feel how hard your core is working to keep your torso locked in the middle. Breath in, breath out. You've got this. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly release. Beautiful. Shaking it out, giving your legs a little wiggle and wobble from side to side. Let's take it down to our mats. Standing at the top of your mat, inhale, stretching both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, palms come together. Take a slow fold with a micro bend through your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Both feet step back, finding that high plank position. Let's do one more round of abs before we totally take it down to our mats. I'd like to do a round of left rights, or the palm to elbow. So right palm, then right elbow, right elbow, left palm, left elbow, left palm, right palm. A set of 10. Ready? 10, 9, 8, you got this. 7, they're hard, but they're making you so strong. 6, 5, you're halfway there. 4, 3, almost done. 2, and last one. Beautiful. Drop both knees to your mat. Bend your elbows, lower your body all the way down to the floor. And just lay one cheek on your mat. Maybe windshield wiper your legs for a moment. Bending each knee and just swishing from left to right for a breath in and a breath out. Planting both palms alongside your chest. Extending the legs long down your mat. Let's take 2 sets of cobra here. An extended held cobra. So palms are alongside the chest and elbows are pulled in towards the body, but kind of pointing up to the sky. And you're squeezing your glutes tightly to protect your lower back. On a breath in, use your core strength to lift your chest into a slight hover over your mat. Keeping your gaze towards the floor, crown of the head presses forward. Squeeze the glutes, breathe in, breathe out. One more inhale. And as you exhale, release, lowering your forehead or one cheek to your mat, maybe windshield wipering those legs for a breath in and a breath out. Second set of cobra. Palms plant alongside the chest. Legs are extended. Make sure you're squeezing your glutes, and on your next inhale, use that core strength to lift your chest. Trying not to use your hands, so you can even bring your hands into a slight hover to make sure that you're relying on your core strength and not the power of your hands. Shoulders press away from the ears, shoulder blades draw together. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Maybe windshield wipering those legs again, swishing from left to right as you breathe in and out. Excellent. We'll take 2 sets of locusts next. So for your locust, your arms extend alongside your body. Legs are long, glutes are still squeezed tightly. On an inhale, just like with your cobra, you'll lift your chest, but you'll also lift your arms and your legs so that your whole body is flying through the sky. Gaze is towards your mat so that the crown of your head presses forward. It can be so tempting to turn your head and look up to the sky, but feel the length you create as you press through the crown of your head for 5, 4, squeeze those shoulder blades together, 3, 2, 1, releasing it down. Breath in, breath out. Inhale and exhale. Let's do one more set of our locusts. So arms extend alongside the mat. Flip your palms so that they're touching the floor. Squeeze your glutes to prepare and to protect your lower back. On an inhale, lift your chest, arms, legs, and fly. Pressing your fingertips back, pressing your feet back, all while pushing the crown of your head forward. Always propelling forward for 5, 4, squeezing those shoulder blades together. 3, 2, and 1, releasing it down. Windshield wipering those legs. Breathing in and breathing out. Placing the palms underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes and coming through a tabletop, slowly lift up and back into your downward facing dog. Walking it out for a moment here. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling the right leg up to the sky. Stay here for a moment and just kind of press that right leg up towards the sky, keeping your shoulders nice and square toward the front of your mat. And then bend that right knee and gently lift right hip over the left. Again, keeping those shoulders stable and square for a breath in. And now as you exhale, pull that right knee in towards the nose, slowly lowering that right leg down onto your mat, coming into your pigeon. So right thigh is parallel to the right edge of your mat. Maybe you place a block underneath that right hip to keep it supported. The goal in your prone pigeon is not to get that hip onto the floor. It's to keep it in the same plane as the other hip. So you want your hips nice and level and stable, and a block is your friend to help you achieve that. Your left leg is stretching back behind you, and you can lower your upper body over that right leg, coming onto your forearms or surrendering all the way down, resting your forehead on your mat. Feeling this amazing stretch through the right hip and the left hip flexor. The beautiful thing about a pigeon pose is that on both sides you're really working all angles of your hips. And so it's a fantastic, fantastic hip opener. But it's also a very, very deep stretch. So if this prone pigeon doesn't feel great for you, you can flip over onto your back. You'll bend the knees and just cross the right ankle over the left thigh, and you're achieving the exact same stretch. Couple more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in and a breath out. Removing that block from underneath the right hip, let's transition over onto the left. So take it slowly, planting the palms and lifting up into a three-legged dog first, maybe circling out that right hip a few times after getting such a deep and lingering stretch. And then right foot floats to the earth as the left foot gently elevates towards the sky. Stay here for a moment. Stable shoulders, pressing left leg up, and then left knee bends, left hip lifts up and over the right. Continuing to press with even pressure through the palms so that your shoulders are nice and stable. One more breath in. Now as you exhale, left knee pulls in towards the nose, and then left leg lowers down onto the mat for your pigeon. Left thigh parallel to the left edge of your mat. That block gets placed underneath the left hip so that it's nice and supported, and then you just kind of surrender your torso over that left leg. Taking some deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. You're always welcome to take the reclined variation on your back. You would turn over, bend both knees, and then cross the left ankle over the right thigh for this side. And you'll get the same gorgeous stretch through the left hip. Another 2 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Breath in and breath out. Planting the palms somewhere underneath your torso. You'll tuck the right toes and slowly lift up into a 3-legged dog, circling out that left hip a few times. And then when you're ready, Lowering that left foot to the mat, dropping your knees to the floor, and slowly turning over onto your back. Lowering yourself down, keeping both knees bent. We'll come into an inversion here. I'll cue a supported shoulder stand or a waterfall position, but you're, of course, welcome to take any inversion that's within your practice, any inversion you can do safely at home. For your waterfall, you'll bend the knees and plant the soles of your feet into your mat, and then lift your hips so that you can plant a block underneath your lower back, the flattest part right above your booty. And then with your lower back resting safely on that block, you can slowly extend both legs up to the sky. And you can even extend your arms up to the sky as well. And this just allows the blood to drain from your extremities back down towards the heart space. And you can roll the ankles and the wrists, just circling them gently if that calls to you. Wiggling the fingers and the toes, maybe shaking your limbs a little bit. Just getting the lymphatic fluid moving around. Remembering to breathe in and breathe out. And maybe finding some stillness for your last couple breaths in this inversion. Another deep inhale. And a slow exhale. And then taking your time, allowing your feet to come back down onto the floor. Removing that block from underneath you. And then taking your time to stretch out onto your mat into a comfortable posture that you can maintain for your Savasana. Maybe grabbing some water before you arrive. And there are no right or wrong answers as you come into your Savasana. Your legs can extend long out in front of you, or your knees can bend and the soles of your feet can meet in a kind of reclined bound angle. Palms can rest open face on your mat or can come down over onto your belly. Your only goal here in your Savasana is to allow a stillness to sink over your physical self. Allowing a softening to come through your body, starting at the tips of your toes. And just allow this release of tension, this release of constriction to slowly rise from your feet up into your legs and your abdominals, through your arms and your shoulders. Let that muscle release, that softening, just kind of rise up into your neck and your jaw, all around your eyes. Just allowing yourself to sort of melt away against your mat, against the floor, as if you're just a puddle of liquid spreading out with no boundaries, no limits being placed on you. Just sort of a puddle spreading out across your mat. And as you're breathing in, maybe you begin to focus that breath into the belly, letting it rise like a balloon and then softly deflating. And maybe you begin to track that breath from your belly up into the rib cage and eventually the heart space, and then watching it travel back down from heart to ribs to belly. And just allowing that 3-part breath to continue, being very intentional about bringing that breath into your torso, starting with the belly and then the ribs, and then bringing it up into the collarbones and then releasing back down in reverse order. And as you're bringing that life force energy in, just allow that melting sensation to continue through your body, letting yourself connect even deeper with the earth as you press against it, weightless and limitless, nothing but breath. Inhale and exhale. Moving slowly and carefully, you can take your time to transition into a seated position. Maybe sitting with your legs crossed, maybe bringing your palms over your heart space. And we'll end our practice the same way we opened it, with that sacred sound of Om, a cleansing breath first. Inhale and exhale. Breath in. Thank you so much for joining me for a second practice this week. It was such a treat to be with you all for a second time. I hope that you found something to carry with you off your mat as you move about into your day or into your week. The spirit in me honors the spirit in you. Namaste. We'll be back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. streaming from Facebook and Instagram as always, and the feeds get archived on both social media pages, and then we upload to YouTube. So there's so many ways for you to access and so many different ways that you can share. One of the best ways to support a local business right now is a like, a comment, a share. And so we would love if you could share our practices and your practice with your loved ones. We hope that you will be back with us tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.